Welcome to the exciting rebirth of Superstar, featuring choose your membership rate as low as just $3 a month. At Superstar, you get expanded, exclusive video scopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, class passes for Synchronicity University, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. Hello, fabulous friends, fans, and superstars. Welcome to your horoscope for the week of May 8, 2022. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological week. Without a doubt, there are massive moves happening in the sky now. Now, when I see a week like this with such a big, monumental astrological energy, it does suggest that this is a week when a whole lot of us out there are going to feel like something changes, something shifts. For many of us, it's going to be within. It's going to be our own energy. There's an energy of enthusiasm, adrenaline, and excitement coming in. But for others still, this is going to be more practical. It's like different areas of life start awakening for us. We have powerful karmic portals opening in the midst of a time of a karmic portal. So there's so much to talk about here. I'm going to start with Tuesday's Mercury Retrograde taking place in the sign of Gemini, Mercury's home sign. And what this suggests is that this Mercury Retrograde very likely is going to be a doozy, okay? Just prepare for that. Just be open for that. This is going to be one of those Mercury Retrogrades where it can feel like communication and understanding needs that much more patience because misunderstanding becomes that much more likely. Our modes of communication may feel wonkier than otherwise as well. Now, this is a remarkable Mercury retrograde because this Mercury retrograde is mostly in the sign of Gemini, but it dips into the sign of Taurus as we get to the end of this month and the beginning of June. Now, I will be here to talk about it every step of the way. But I think that this is a very interesting contrast of energies. In a sense, it's a contrast. I mean, you have an air sign having to do with mind and communication. But then you have Earth. How is it that we're actually manifesting our reality based on how we're using our mind, how we're using our thoughts, and how we're using our words? I think that is going to be a sacred lesson for a lot of us out there. And the other way to understand this time is ideas manifesting into a reality that we can feel good about. Our thoughts supporting healthy self-esteem. That is part of the larger lesson for all of us. But at least for now, with Mercury going retrograde, pay attention to what's happening right around Tuesday. Because whatever is taking place, chances are you will understand it differently once we navigate further into June in particular. Because that's when Mercury will return to where he is now. And again, of course, I'll be here to talk about it every step of the way, but this can be such a special time, such an important moment, a moment that helps us to get clear about how we're talking to ourselves, helps us to get honest with ourselves about how we're thinking about a thing and where it is perhaps we could think in ways that are more empowering and more worthy of us. More supportive of self-love, self-esteem, self-respect. What does it mean to think in terms of prosperity, in terms of abundance, right? And I'm not necessarily talking about materialism. I'm talking about where is it that you could be more generous with yourself? Where is it that you could enjoy life more simply by focusing on the enjoyment? That's how the energy of Gemini and Taurus come together. And that's the way in which this larger Mercury retrograde season likely is going to ask us to tap into its wisdom and its power at this time. Now, the other big move, of course, has to do with Jupiter changing signs. This is huge. Now, please be on the lookout this week for a Jupiter special horoscope, and thank you so much for your patience with those special horoscopes as well. That'll be coming this week, and that's where I'll dive in a lot more deeply to what's taking place with Jupiter in the sign of Aries. However, I wanted to touch on it now because it is that big a deal. Jupiter moving into the sign of Aries for chapter 1 of 2. I touched on this in the year ahead horoscope, and I'll link to that below as well. And so essentially what we have as we start the week is Jupiter at the very end of the sign of Pisces. This is what astrologers call an anaretic degree, and it means that this is a concentration, if you will. The very last degree out of 360 degrees of the entire zodiac is where Jupiter is, just before he enters the sign of Aries. Now he's going to enter the sign of Aries either late Tuesday in the Americas or on Wednesday in the rest of the world. And as Jupiter sits at this culmination point as we start this week, it's an opportunity for all of us to reflect on our journey so far with Jupiter and Pisces. It's been a deeply spiritual time. It's been cleansing as well. It's been one where we've been encouraged to connect with miracles and faith and healthy compassion towards ourselves and to each other. The energy of Aries is very different. The energy of Aries is fire. It is energy that says direct that sacred energy of yours, your will, the power that you have to direct your life in the direction you choose to go. Well, that is one of the more sacred things that we have available to us as human beings, especially modern human beings in this time where more of us have agency over our lives than ever before. And it is going to be Jupiter in Aries that invites us to embrace the possibilities of spiritualizing our will. Now, it's interesting because so far these energies I've spoken about, Jupiter in Aries, Mercury in Gemini, I actually think that there is another reason to be very mindful of what's taking place with these energies now. On the one hand, as we move later into the year, in August, Mars is going to move into the sign of Gemini for a nice long stay right into the new year, because of course we're going to have Mars retrograde season. And that is going to help us to pay that much more attention to communication and our own thought processes. But also, once we navigate later in this decade, we are going to have Neptune moving into the sign of Aries as well. And I think that this is a remarkable foreshadowing right now. We've had such energy playing out since the start of the year in particular, and especially over the course of April, that has invited us to really dive into Piscean energy, to understand the spiritual quality of this time, to understand the power of surrender and acceptance and humility. Well, now here comes change. To understand the power of owning the spark within, owning the adrenaline rush and directing it towards what matters to us. Trusting our creative impulse, trusting our creative instinct, and pursuing it with courage and bravery. That is part of what we are going to start to embrace as Jupiter steps into the sign of Aries. But really, it's just a foreshadowing to how the spiritualization of the will is going to come to characterize so much of spirituality once we navigate later in this decade. And so pay attention to what's happening, where it is now that you are feeling a call towards greater optimism, but more importantly, to act from the place of greater optimism. But of course, wherever Jupiter goes, in this case with Jupiter, so come blessings. So all of us in at least one area of life are going to find our blessings magnified in some way. I touched on this in the monthly horoscope for your sign. So again, please navigate to my channel to get a more personal understanding and to get a little bit of a foreshadowing of what I'll talk about in the Jupiter special horoscope with Jupiter, depending on your sign and the relationship that Jupiter will have to your sign as Jupiter moves into the sign of Aries. So this move into Aries is going to happen on Tuesday and will take us right to just days before Halloween. when Jupiter will retrograde back into the energy of Pisces to wrap up some loose ends for us. And then at the end of the year, Jupiter will step back into the sign of Aries. I think a lot of us are going to feel a wake-up call in at least one area of life, filled with purpose and enthusiasm and a desire for change. In one way or another, we are going to be asked to be spiritual warriors in at least one area of life. And to direct ourselves is a powerful way towards magnifying that much more optimism and hope, and yes, larger blessings in our life with Jupiter. Now, finally, the other big celestial event to take place now is going to involve the sun meeting the North Node in the sky. This is such powerful energy. This truly is energy that invites us to conceive, to consider what brand new pathways could look like for us, and then throw out those conceptions because the universe has a higher, more loving will for us. This annual meeting of the sun and the North Node is actually less rare for it to take place in the sign of Taurus, of course. The North Node only moves to the sign of Taurus once every 19 years for about a year and a half. So you can see how special this time is. We are right now in a period between eclipses where the veils between the worlds are especially thin. It's a karmic portal, if you will. It's easier to recognize our spiritual lessons playing out. Now add to this the precision of the sun meeting the North Node on Thursday. Well, this is as if a doorway opens from which new people, places, things, situations enter that represent karmic blessings. With the energy of Taurus, the blessings are practical, but they may also be very sensual as well, meaning that they involve the senses. They invite us to be more present for our lives. They invite us to be more aware of our senses. And they invite us through presence to understand the power of the present moment that much more. You know, it's often said, or I've often said, that Buddha was a Taurus. And so there are a few different natal charts floating around for the Buddha. A few of those natal charts are for the sign of Taurus. We know that he was born on the 4th day of the 4th month of the Chinese calendar, but his birthday is celebrated in the West, in some Western countries, on April 4th, but that's more of a cultural celebration. And so why is it said that Buddha was a Taurus? Because so much of his teachings talked about being present for our lives, and what it means to free ourselves ultimately rests in freedom from worry about the future, freedom from regret about the past. When we are free of the past and the future, we're able to live that much more present. And it is only in the present that we're able to experience the divine, that we're able to take steps towards nirvana. And nirvana ultimately is a state of being where one knows oneself as merged with divine energy. And so this is powerful. The sun conjunct the North Node. And in the sign of Taurus is going to invite us to be present for our lives. But also, I see this as carrying forward the message of the recent eclipse. So it was at the end of April, right? A little over a week ago, as we're starting this week, that we had a powerful solar eclipse. And so the sun meeting the North Node with precision now, I feel, is carrying that eclipse message forward in some way. It's helping us to make the most of this time. It's helping us to open that portal that much more. We're in a period between eclipses. Now comes this precise opening. And so my advice to all signs is be out and about. Strive to meet as many people as possible. Put yourself in new situations, because the North Node is about the new. It is only through engaging the new that we're able to welcome in new people, places, things, situations. And so whatever feels right for you, it's a good idea to engage it. Now, I'm not promising you that whoever shows up is going to be there forever and ever. It's possible, but more likely, the experiences, the new opportunities, and the people that show up now, they have an impact on your karmic journey. They help you to understand your pathway forward from here. And that is a powerful gift to receive at a time like this. And so, yes, whatever it is that you feel inspired to do, especially on Thursday, but I would engage this energy on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yes, engage it and be open. because there is a higher, more loving will playing out, even if it isn't obvious to us right away. Sometimes with the sun meeting the North Node, it's immediate. We realize we've met somebody or had an experience or welcome an opportunity that feels important in the moment. But sometimes this is more of a seed. It's a very beginning, and it unveils itself to be that much more important in the fullness of time. Especially as we navigate through this year, we're going to have some very powerful North Node conjunctions. And so I do feel like this is one of those years where a lot of us are going to look back on and see how so many new people, places, things, situations, so many karmic blessings were set into motion with a year like this. And it starts now with the sun meeting the North Node with precision. What I love about this week for us, well, there's a lot here. It's a powerful astrological moment. My goodness, it is so powerfully karmic. We have this very fiery, fresh energy coming in of Jupiter in the sign of Aries. This is the first sign of the zodiac. This is the energy of spring. All of us are going to feel that wake up of spring in at least one area of life in a way that feels really exciting, that has us anticipating a more fruitful future ahead. At the same time, though, we have energy that's saying, be honest with ourselves. That's the Mercury Retrograde. We have energy saying being present for ourselves is the way to power and blessings. That's the sun meeting the North Node. All of these energies are together with perfection, with precision, and ultimately are leading the way forward to us embracing this time, which is so powerfully karmic. And ultimately, I think karma is a higher, more loving vision for our life. It is ultimately the fulfillment of what it is that the soul desires to do in this lifetime. And right now, a whole lot of us are on a powerful course forward towards fulfillment. Well, thank you so much for watching. What do you love about this week? Let me know in the comments below. I love reading you guys. And to prove it to you, here are some of my most recent favorite comments. Thank you to everybody who likes, who comments, who subscribes, who shares, who thumbs up. All of it means so much. I thank you for it. And of course, if you want to know how all this wonderful stuff this week speaks to you in your sign, log on to NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, where you get expanded exclusive video scopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, live events, and so much more. All of this in the superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Link is in the description below. I look forward to meeting you there. Synchronicity University has some incredible events happening right now and coming up this summer that I'm so excited to tell you about. My own classes are underway at the moment, and we've got incredible classes available for download as part of the spring series and coming up as well. It is going to be on Sunday because lately I've been teaching the classes on Sunday because Michael Luton's been doing Saturdays. Well, I'm going to be teaching the first of two classes on the 12th house this Sunday at Synchronicity University. And coming up later on this spring, I have got parent-child synastry, I've got Vesta, I've got more on the sun, and so much more. Popular classes at Synchronicity University with me at synchronicityuniversity.com. Link is in the description below. Synchronicity University presents the one and only Mark Lawrenson of the Sydney School of Astrology. And he is coming back to Synchronicity University to teach a 5-week course that is choose your tuition rate now as low as just $5 a class. Well, he's going to be teaching about your soul's mission in the birth chart. I think that this is going to be an incredible class. It's already working out to be quite popular. Lots of students are very excited about this, and it's coming up later this summer. And so right now, and for a limited time, you can choose your tuition rate as low as just $5 a class with our very famous choose your tuition rate at Synchronicity University. And I'm really excited to have this caliber of teacher. Truly, Mark Lawrenson is so widely respected, widely known, and just a brilliant mind and brilliant soul. The ways in which he has helped me to see my chart differently have lasted. He has such a perception and so much wisdom. I think this is a class that you really want to tap into. The soul's mission in the birth chart. Lots of people ask about that. This is your chance to look at your chart differently with an eye towards the soul's mission. Sign up for Mark's class right now at synchronicityuniversity.com. Link is in the description below. And Synchronicity University presents the one and only Melissa CYNOVA. Her classes are underway. Kitchen Table Magic. She is a best-selling author. Her class is proving to be so popular. Students are loving it. And how you get to understand and learn about magic and putting things into practice. Well, now you can take single classes with Melissa CYNOVA as well. And so, link is in the description below. Join us for any class you like as part of Melissa CYNOVA's 5-part course on kitchen table magic, helping you to tap into the power of magic in your life in so many ways. Link is in the description below. And I'm so excited to announce I am going to be in Seattle at the end of the month at the NORWAC conference. I hope that you'll join me. Now, the conference itself has sold out, so it's going to be a massive party, I'm sure. But I think that there is a waiting list if you still want to join and hear these incredible speakers. I have a limited number of consultations available. And so if you are in the Seattle area and you'd like to meet for an in-person consultation, well, use the contact form on my website or send an email to an address that you see somewhere here. And we'll be sure to get that information to you as part of securing an in-person consult. So I really look forward to that. And for those superstars who have consults right now, like scheduled, because as part of the superstar space, there are some superstars that have one of the tiers where they get a consult. Well, you can arrange to have that in person rather than just online if you are in the Seattle area as well. So link is in the description below, or go to the email that you see here, or go to my website, nadiyashah.com. And I look forward to meeting you in Seattle. I cannot wait. I'm so excited about this live event. And thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining me. I'm truly so grateful for it. I've kept it kind of short and sweet for now, but I hope that you enjoy this video. And I hope that you're enjoying the shorts that I've been posting. A lot of you are. Thank you for that. And I've been trying to grow my TikTok as well and Instagram Reels. A whole bunch of people started following me this past week on Instagram. So thank you to each and every one of you. You can find me online. And again, link is in the description below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great week. Enjoy. Thank you to the sponsor for this video, Keen. Visit trykeen.com/Nadiya to get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99 with one of their trusted advisors. I too had a chance to try Keen when I was approached to have them as a sponsor. I loved my reading, and I only recommend services I trust. Visit trykeen.com/Nadiya to get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99.